Hello guys, welcome to Darknet Dispatches. Today we'll be solving Bounty Hacker ETF machine on TryHackMe. Its difficulty level is easy, so let's start the machine first. Now let's connect to the machine using OpenVPN. Here select VPN server as IN regular one. It defines the closest server to the Indian region and then click on the download configuration file. Then using OpenVPN, connect the OVPN file. Here you can see the initialization sequence completed message. This means that we have successfully connected to the machine. Now, after getting the IP address of the machine, I'll do an nmap scan to figure out what are the open ports and what are the services running on them to further enumerate the process. In this command, -sc executes some predefined scripts to gather more information about those open ports in the network. -V helps in detecting the versions of the softwares running on those open ports. -V instructs nmap to provide a more detailed report about the scan processes, detected services, and potential vulnerabilities. It is known as verbosity level. And then we have -pn. It instructs nmap to skip the initial ping sweep. This can be useful when ping sweeps are blocked or for faster scans. And then we provide the target IP. So nmap managed to find three ports, port 21, 22, and 80, among which port 80 is HTTP port. Now let's go and see what's there in port 80. So there is a web page. It has an image and some characters by chat at Edward Ain. So this could be some usernames. And I'm also thinking of doing a directory enumeration on this website to check what are the directories available if I could find some login interface or something. Here we can see that we have the results of nmap scan. We have detailed results of all the three ports. Here is anonymous FTP login which we can access. We have OpenSH 7.2 p2, Apache HTTP 2.4.18. So we can check each one of these one by one. First, let's do a directory enumeration by using GoBuster, and let's try to figure out what are the directories available. Here in this command, dir is for directory, -u is for URL, and in word list, you need to mention the whole path of the word list file. Okay, I didn't remove the space before word list. It already found one directory called images. Now let's keep it scanning and let's see what other directories we can get. FTP anonymous login. It provides us a convenient way to share files publicly. Anyone with an FTP client can access and download files from the server. This is useful for distributing software, documentation, or other publicly available resources. Maintaining individual user accounts for casual downloads can be resource intensive. Anonymous login simplifies that problem. It facilitates collaboration on open source project or distribution of community created content. Developers can access shared resources without needing individual accounts. Now, there are also some limitations of anonymous login. Typically, anonymous users can only download files. Uploading or modifying files on the server is usually restricted. Anonymous access often has restricted functionalities compared to authenticated users. They may not be able to view directory listings, change file permissions, or access private folders. There are also security concerns, so anonymous login can be a security risk if not managed properly. Now, let's log into the FTP server as an anonymous user. For this, we have default credentials of username anonymous and password anonymous as well. Okay, now let's see what we can get here. Oops, in FTP we use dir, not ls, in order to list the files in the directory. There are two files here. Let's download them first using the get command. You can also type help to list out all the commands that are available or that you can use in the FTP server. Here we can see a message 229 entering extensive passive mode and then some arbitrary number. This message indicates the server is initiating a data connection for file transfer using the passive FTP mode. If we break down this message, here 229 is the standard FTP response code indicating a successful command and a positive response. In this case, it signifies that the server acknowledges your login request. There are two main FTP data transfer modes, passive and active. Passive mode is generally considered more firewall friendly because the client initiates the data connection to the server's specified address and port. This can be easier to configure in environments with firewalls restricting incoming connections. But in active mode, the server expects the client to specify its IP address and port. The server then initiates a connection to the client's provided address and port to transfer the data. Active mode can be problematic if the client is behind a firewall that restricts incoming connections. And the arbitrary number represents the data connection information in a format specific to the passive FTP mode. It contains details about the IP address and port number the server will use to establish the data connection. Now, I'm not able to download this file, maybe some internet issue. Let's try to read it and let's see what's in there. So it's a word list. I guess we can use it to do some brute force. I'll just quickly copy it and save it in my desktop. This command here is not working due to these dollar signs, so I'll just quickly open the nano text editor and copy the files. Okay, I've got the word list. Now let's first exit from the FTP server and let's check what are the questions I need to answer. First two questions, deploy the machine and find open ports. We don't have to answer them. We've already did it. And then comes who wrote the task list. So we have a task.txt file. I guess we'll find our answer there. I've already downloaded the task.txt file, but it's not present in the downloads folder. So let's try to find out this file manually by the find command. I'll use grep command to narrow down my search results. Okay, this command was also not able to find it. It's not even there in downloads. I'll just check the root directory if it's there. Here is our file. Now let's open it and see if we can find our answer here. Okay, I think it's Lin. Let's try this answer. So we've got the right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. It says, what service can you brute force with the text file found? So I think the answer would be SSH, because sometimes you can predict the answer by seeing this answer format in the input field. You can see that there are 3 stars, and SSH also has 3 characters, right? But apart from this, we also do brute force attacks on SSH servers to guess their usernames and passwords of the server. So let's try this answer out and see. Here you can see we've got the right answer. Now let's move on to the next question. It says, what is the user's password? So for this, I will brute force their SSH server and I'll try to guess their password, and I'll use the username as Lin. And for doing the brute force attack, we can use tools like Hydra, Metasploit. So now we'll use Hydra. Okay, let's try using both the tools and see what we can find. Here I wrote the wrong command first time. In this command, we use hyphen small l if we want to use a username instead of a word list. And as you can see, we have also used hyphen capital P because we don't know the password and we want to guess it. So we are using the logs.txt word list, which we found from the FTP server. And after that, SSH, because we want to brute force an SSH server, and then the target IP. And now let's execute the command and see if we get the password or not. Here you can see we've got our password. Now let's use Metasploit to brute force the server. For starting Metasploit, we'll have to write MSF console in the shell. Now let's search for SSH login. Okay, let's just search for SSH. So here we can see number 50 is SSH login. So let's use this now. Now type info to check what are the options available, what are the options we can set. So these are the available options that we can modify for it to brute force on that particular server. Now I'll set 4 of these options. First, our hosts. Our hosts will set the target IP. Then I'll set a username. In our case, the username would be Lin. And then I'll set the pass file. In pass file, we'll provide the word list for brute forcing that password. Then I will set verbose equal to true. And verbose, we know what it does as we have already seen in nmap. So let's set those options. Now I'll start the brute force attack using the run or execute command. Here you can see it is brute forcing the server using the word list I provided. And here you can see we've got the password. Now let's submit it. Now after exiting from Metasploit, I'll access the SSH server using the username and the password. And we're in. And we have also got the flag. Let's submit it and let's see what we've got next. Now the final one, the root flag. Let's see what we can do now. So first of all, let's see who am I. Now let's print all the system information. For this, we have this command, uname -a, minus or hyphen, whatever you say, just you need to know the meaning of it. Here we got the Ubuntu version. We can also do a Google search to find out if it has any vulnerabilities, then we can proceed to exploit that vulnerability. But I'm searching for some root functions which I can execute as a normal user. Then I'll be able to execute any command I wish to. I want to check the cron tasks. These are located in the etc folders. So these cron tasks are essentially automated jobs that run on a predefined schedule on a system. They are widely used on Unix-based systems like Linux and Mac OS to schedule repetitive tasks. Here is a passwd file that looks suspicious. So let's check it, what it is. Let's do a Google search. So I found a Google forum which says that it's just a backup of the passwd file which is present in the etc folders, which contains list of all the user accounts of that particular machine. So it's nothing bad. Let's try to find something else. Now let's try to find out what are the processes running in the system. I'll just narrow down the search results using the grep command. Here we can see we have an SSH service running, but we can't exploit that. So now let's just try and look for the commands which we are specifically allowed to run with sudo. So for that, we will have to use sudo -l command, and let's see what it gives us. We have a bin tar file here, which has root privileges, and we can also execute it. So let's see if we can exploit it. I will quickly Google for ways to exploit this file. Here I can see a result of GTFO bins. So let's see what they've got. GTFO bins is a really important website. It has legitimate functions of Unix binaries that can be abused, to maintain elevated privileges, transfer files, for reverse shells, and many more. So for freshers, I would suggest you to bookmark this site as you will be needing this site a lot. Now I'll use this command to see what we get. It says it can be used to break out from restricted environments by spawning an interactive system shell. Is it talking about something, some reverse shell? Or okay, let's check it. Okay, here this command is giving some error. It's not even letting me out of the shell. Let's try the other command. Let's try the one with sudo. Let's see what it gives. Here we've got it. Now we're root user. You can see the $sign has changed to hash. Now if I run the whoami command, then you can see the username as a root. So finally, now let's search for the last flag. Let's see where we can find it. I'll just use the find command here. And here we can see the root.txt file. We've got the flag. Let's copy and submit it. And I've solved the machine. So if you have any doubts, please rewind the video and check that particular section again. Or you can comment down and I'll definitely explain it to you in the comments. And apart from that, if you think I've explained something wrong or I could have done something in a different way, then please say it in the comments. I'll definitely try it. And here is my LinkedIn page. Please don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. There I also post some of the hacking tactics and my blogs. So that's it for today, guys. I'll see you in another video with a different challenge. Thank you.